Back in 2020 and 2021 in the housing market, if you presented another agent with an offer to purchase that included a home sale contingency, they'd have laughed in your face. But the pendulum is starting to swing back and contingencies are back. Because we've been in a seller's market for the last few years, there really haven't been many contingencies in most transactions. But there are ways to have the sale of a home as a contingency for either a buyer or a seller in this current market. What does that mean? As a seller, if you need to find another home before you can sell your home, you can have that written in. You and your agent can write that into the listing contract, that any offers that come in need to have language that speaks to that. As a buyer, if you want to write an offer to purchase and you have a home to sell, you can write that in as well as part of your offer, that the offer is contingent on you being able to find a buyer in a timely manner prior to the time of closing, so that you have the funds to close on the home that you're hoping to make an offer on. So as agents, we have lots of language that we can write in, either in our listing agreements or in our offer to purchase or in our counter offers, that can accommodate either one of those contingency situations, either as a buyer or a seller. But the three main things that you need to have in order to be successful, or in order to have a way to win in this market, is to really to have a collaborative effort between the three team members that are involved in your transaction. That's your listing agent, your buyer's agent, and your lender. It's really important that all three of those team members are working together to make the transaction successful for a few reasons. Number one, timing. The two agents need to work together collaboratively to know, or to work together to make sure that closing is beneficial for both parties, so that when the funds are there, or that if one needs to do a rent back or to stay in the property a little bit longer as a result of closing not happening on one of the properties in the same order, that can happen. There needs to be a timeliness with relation to all of the different contingencies that you may have had in there. Did you have inspections? Were there appraisals? All those things need to line up in a timely manner. So it's really critical for those two agents to be working together to make sure that happens in a timely manner. Another key component is knowledge. You need to have knowledgeable agents. They're going to need to be able to tell you, can your property sell quickly? They need to be able to tell you what the comparables are in your market, so that your home can sell quickly if you're coming along as a buyer and need to sell. And they also need to be able to advise you on the things that you need to do to get it on the market quickly. Some of those things may happen prior to you even going out and looking for your own home to purchase, because you're going to want to be ready. If you put in an offer and you get an accepted offer with that home sale contingency, you need to be ready to list your home at that time. You don't have time to do all the things. You need to get your home on the market in order to meet your deadlines, which I talked about earlier. And finally, financially, working with the lender is critical, because the lender needs to be able to help you walk through, if there is a loan, the things related to how can you make this happen financially. Can the two properties close at the same time, so that the funds from one will fund the other home sale, so that if you're buying a home and you're selling a home, that you have the funds in order to be able to close on both properties. The other thing is the lender needs to be able to push through the appraisals, and the underwriting, can that all get done in the time frames that were written into the offer to purchase, so that the transaction can close in that timely manner. And then lastly, is there an opportunity for you to have a different type of loan related to the property? If you're not able to do the closing and close one right after the other, typically sometimes even in the same day, is there a bridge loan, or is there some other type of financing or some other way that you can get through that process if you need the funds on one to close on the other? So in this contingency, the way to win is to have cooperative team members. There's all kinds of language that I could list and go through, but it really is critical for you to have the right team members, your listing agent, the buyer's agent, and the lender being willing to work together to cooperatively and collaboratively put all the pieces together so that contingency can work. We are seeing more and more of that. We will continue to see that in 2023. So Keep that in the back of your mind if you shied away from shopping for a home in the last 2 years because you didn't know where you would go, or I need to sell my house first before I can even do that because I need the funds. Contingencies are back. They're not as frequent yet in Wisconsin as they are perhaps in other parts of the country, but they are back. So know that there are ways to win if you need to sell your home first in order to buy one, or if you need to find a home in order to sell yours. Come on back next Tuesday for another way to win. And make sure you like and subscribe. Give us a follow.